Hi there, Exxon is here and welcome to the next video on my channel. In today's video we're taking a nostalgic journey back to the early 2000s because I will show you how to install the original and updated version of Windows XP 10 years after its end of support. So you can hit that subscribe button and leave a like on this video, and without wasting any more time we are going straight to the video. There are several reasons why you may want to install Windows XP in today's tech era, especially because it's a very outdated operating system. You may want to do this because of nostalgia. Obviously Windows XP was extremely popular and it's still well rated despite its lack of updates. Or maybe you want to install this OS because of old games or legacy software. Reasons can be various, but all of them are understandable. Before we dive into the installation process, you need to think what option of hardware will be better for you. If you want to install XP for nostalgia or curiosity, you can proceed with setup on a virtual machine. But if you're thinking of retro gaming or testing legacy software, I highly recommend using some old PC or laptop. This will help you to get the unbeatable experience of using this 20-year-old OS. If you're more advanced, you can set up a dual boot configuration to run XP alongside your existing OS, though this can be complex and risky. Let's begin preparing for the installation process. Of course, you will need an installation disk of Windows XP. If you have one, you can use it both on a VM or on a real PC. But if you don't have one, you need to get an ISO image and burn it to a CD or DVD disk if you're installing XP on real hardware, or just use it as it is on a virtual machine. I've got my ISO file from archive.org, and if you want to install the same XP's version as me, you can also use this link, but if you use another website and choose another OS edition, it should also be fine. Getting an ISO file from this webpage is pretty easy. Everything you need to do is just scroll down and click ISO image in the download options part. Then the file will start downloading. If it's going pretty slow, you can use Free Download Manager. It should solve the problem. Now you need to think about what virtualization software you will use. If you want something free, you can use VirtualBox, for which link is in description. You just need to click a Windows host button and a program will start downloading. The installation process is very simple, just follow on-screen instructions and everything will go fine. But I won't be using this app today. I will be using VMware Workstation Pro 15.5. Unfortunately, this program isn't free, but it's more professional and works better with my laptop. So if you don't need as many features as VMware has, you can go with VirtualBox. Once you've got VMware or other app for virtualization installed and opened, you need to set up your virtual computer. This process should be similar in other apps like that, so you don't need to be worried. If you're using VMware, you need to click the Create a New Virtual Machine button, and then the New Virtual Machine wizard will pop up. Choose typical recommended type of configuration and click Next. After this, select the I will install the operating system later option and go to the next step. Now set the guest operating system to Microsoft Windows, and in a version box choose the Windows XP Professional if you're using Pro version and go Next. After this is done, set the VM name. I will go with Windows XP in English, and if you want you can change the location of VM files and then proceed. Now you need to choose the amount of disk space which can be used by the VM. I will give it 25 GB of storage because I think 40 GB is kinda a lot, but you can set even more or even less if you want, just don't go lower than 10 GB in my opinion. Later you need to choose if your virtual machine should be stored as a single file or split it into multiple files. I'm always choosing the store virtual disk as a single file option because I don't see any sense in splitting this VM into more than one file. After you set this up, you can go to the next step. Now VMware will show you all of the VM's most important settings, but if you need, you can customize them. I'm suggesting this, so let's do it together. The first page is RAM memory settings. Windows XP in 32-bit version doesn't see more than 3 GB of physical memory, so don't exceed this amount. If you do this, the OS will be limited to 3 GB anyway. Next up is the CPU settings. I will go with one processor with 2 cores because on these settings VM works fine for me. This tab is very important because here you need to choose from what your VM will boot up to the setup. If you have a physical copy of Windows XP, put the CD or DVD drive to the PC and choose the Use Physical Drive option. If you want to use an ISO file, select the Use ISO Image File option and click the Browse button to find the right file. For example, mine is located in a Windows folder, and as you can see, here it is. So let's choose it, and that's it. So after it's done, I will go to the USB controller settings and turn on the USB 3.1 devices compatibility. You don't need to do this if you don't want to, because it will need additional drivers, but I thought I could enable the settings for better hardware compatibility. Now you can also check the display, printer, sound card and network adapter settings to see if you want to change something. In my case, everything was set up correctly, so I'm leaving these settings as is. After everything is customized, you can click the close button on the bottom of the window and then the finish button to complete the setup process. Now you've successfully created your virtual computer, so let's power it on by pressing the power on this virtual machine on the top of this page. After your VM successfully starts, you should see a VMware booting screen, and after this, Windows XP installation program will start executing. After this, the setup will load the drivers needed for installation, and after this is done, you should see a welcome screen on which you should click the enter button to continue the installation process, and then F8 to accept the license agreement. In my case, it didn't pop up because this ISO has a little modded setup. Of course, it's not changing anything with OS functionality. I just don't need to follow these two steps. Then you can choose your virtual disk to install OS on it. Right here you can divide disk space to smaller partitions, but if you don't have a lot of memory, I don't recommend doing this. Just click enter to confirm the choice. Now you need to choose the file system you want on your newly created partition. I recommend choosing the NTFS or NTFS Quick option. I've never installed Windows XP on a FAT file system. When you confirm your choice, the installer will format the system partition and start copying files to it. This step took around 5 minutes on my laptop because of the SSD drive speed. When the installer finishes its job, the PC needs to be restarted. This will be done automatically after 15 seconds, but you can speed up this process by clicking the enter button on your keyboard. Now the virtual machine will boot into the second phase of OS installation, which will take a little longer. Of course, the 39 minutes time to complete is a lie. It should be completed in 15 minutes or on better PCs even faster. The first setup step after reboot is installing devices, after which we will be able to customize some XP settings. As you can also see, the time to completion decreased to 33 minutes. Now it's time to concentrate on some more options, like the regional and language one. If you need, you can change the settings by customize and details buttons. After confirming your choices, you need to type your name and organization for personalization purposes. I will type my name as user and organization as VMware, but you should type your own data here. Now you should see the activation prompt if you're using other Windows XP's ISO, but I didn't because this copy of Windows XP should activate itself without user interference. After this, you will see a window with computer name and administrator password customization. You can type here what you want. For example, I will go with VMXP computer name, and I won't use an admin password because I don't need it here. It's not a physical computer. If you need to change some date and time settings, you can do it now. I've only changed a time zone to a Warsaw one, and I was good to go because the time and date was set up correctly. This was the last personalization setting in this setup stage. Now Windows XP setup will start installing network drivers. It shouldn't take a lot of time, just a few seconds. When the network compatibility completes installation, you can choose your networking settings. In every single case, I'm choosing the typical settings options, and in the next and the last window, I'm making my computer a member of the work group named Workgroup. In this process, the setup is doing all the job, which completes the installation, so you can relax right now. This process should take about 5 minutes on a fast hardware, maybe even less. It depends only on how good your PC is. Right now I will make a time lapse and I will go back when the operating system installation process will be completed. And here it is, the iconic Windows XP desktop, complete with that famous Bliss wallpaper and nostalgic start menu. In the first seconds of XP desktop experience after installation, you will get a security alert notification. It is really easy to remove, so if you want to do this, follow these steps. Click on the notification or on the security alert icon, and after the Windows Security Center will open, click on recommendations at the bottom of the virus protection tab, then choose the manual antivirus monitoring option. When you confirm your choice by pressing OK, the security alert icon will disappear and Windows will think you have an antivirus that you will monitor yourself. To improve performance of your virtually installed system and for better experience, you need to install VMware Tools or VirtualBox Guest Additions. Those packages include drivers and utilities that improve performance, allow for higher screen resolutions, and enable features like shared folders and seamless mouse integration. On a VMware, this process is way less complicated. The only thing you need to do is click the VM tab on the top of the app and click the Install VMware Tools. Installation program will open automatically after a few seconds, so you don't need to do anything. If in your case this won't happen, you need to go to the File Manager and run the installation manually. When the VMware Tools setup will open, you can already tell it's an older version from 2016. That's because Windows XP is not supported anymore and VMware didn't release any new version of their tools for this OS. If you want to proceed, click the next button. After this, you have three options to choose from. The description clearly tells what they do, so you can easily decide. You can choose the typical setup type, but I will personally go with complete because I want this VM to support everything. After you made the right choice for yourself, you can click the next button. Now the only thing you need to do is click install and wait a moment. When the drivers complete installing, click finish and restart your virtual machine. After restart, you may want to go to the properties from the right mouse button menu, and then in the settings tab you can higher screen resolution. As you can also see, the mouse pointer is not laggy anymore. What to do if you're using VirtualBox? You need to go to the for link in description. This link contains a web page with all the VirtualBox 6.0.4 extras. Of course, it's an older version of this app. The only file from here you need to download is this one called VBox Guest Additions 6.0.4.iso. This is an installer of an older version of VirtualBox Guest Additions, because if you have the latest version of VirtualBox, the installer will give you an app with faulty drivers which doesn't work well on XP. After you download this file, you need to mount an ISO image to the VM and proceed with on-screen instructions just like with VMware Tools. As easy as that. Installing the MyPal internet browser on Windows XP is a great way to browse the web securely on this legacy operating system, so I will show you how to do this properly. The first thing you need to do is to open your internet browser and go to the mypalbrowser.org website. Of course, every single link is in the description. After the page will open, you have to click a green button which says download MyPal. Now you can choose what version you want to use. The older version is based on Palemoon and the newer version is based on Firefox Quantum. I will go with the latest 32-bit version because I've never experienced any issues with it, so if you want to download this build too, you need to click the 32-bit hyperlink under the new version text. After all of these steps, MyPal will start downloading. For some reason, MyPal official servers are terribly slow, at least for me, but there is a simple way to increase the download speed. You can just use an external mirror. For example, I chose Softpedia. If you will be also using this site, you need to click this blue download now button and choose one of the versions. Like I said, I've chosen x86 version 68.14.7. After this, your download will start and it will be incredibly faster than from the original servers. If a file has been downloaded, you can just simply drag and drop it from your downloaded files location straight to the VM. Maple Internet Browser is a portable type of app, so you don't need to install it manually. You just need to extract its files by pressing the right mouse button, extract all option, and then continuing using the next button. This is what you need to see. Right now you need to click the Browse button and choose a program files destination. You can do this by selecting My Computer, then Local Disk C, and finally Program Files. When this step is done, you can press the next button to extract this app. Extraction has completed and Maple is almost ready to use. When you click the Finish button, you will be redirected to a chosen location. If you will see this information, just click Show the contents of this folder's hyperlink, and as you can see, here is the Maple app folder. The last thing you need to do is find the maple.exe file and create a shortcut on the desktop so you will have easy access to your newly installed internet browser. For better customization, I will also remove the shortcut to add-on and remove the zip package. Now you're good to go. You can browse the internet on a Windows XP OS. Of course, you need to remember that this operating system is no longer supported, so be careful while surfing because malicious website or files may not be detected as a problem. The last step of the Windows XP setup in this video is customization. As you can see right there, I've decided to change my profile picture to this dark Fruiteacher Aera one. I just thought it will match the aesthetics I want this OS to have. After finding the right profile picture for my account, I went to search for the right theme for my XP, and after an hour of searching I found this one called XP Black 2 on DeviantArt. It's completely free, so you also can download it and follow my steps to install it properly. The first step of successful installation of this customization tweak is allowing Windows XP to use third-party themes. The best way to do this is using the UX theme Multipatcher 15.0. Of course, download link is in the description. After downloading this file from the provided website, you need to extract the archive content. So open this file and then click Extract all files located in the folder task menu. Then just click the middle button 3 times and run the .exe app. You should see the blue application which will patch your OS for unsigned themes compatibility. Uncheck the Set Windows X Live as default homepage option on the bottom to avoid spam and click Patch. Now the patching theme engine pop-up will appear, and after a few seconds you should see the finished confirmation box. Congratulations! You successfully modified your OS. So let's download the theme. After logging in or signing up or DeviantArt, you must click this download icon to download the theme installer. Open it when downloaded. WinRAR self-extracting archive will show up. Don't change anything, just click install. Okay, the installer extracted all the files needed for customization. Now you need to click Start menu, open My Computer, go to Local Disk C, choose Show the contents of this folder, go to Windows, select this hyperlink once again, and then find Resources folder and open the Themes one. This is the place where you need to move the XP Black 2 folder. When this is done, open it and double click the XP Black file and apply the theme. Now you can close all windows and delete the rest of the files. Now just set some matching wallpapers and you're good to go. The last thing I will be doing in this video is making shortcuts for multimedia folders like My Documents, My Music and My Pictures, and moving them to the top right corner of the screen. And there you have it, Windows XP up and running in 2025. Whether you did this for nostalgia to run old software or just for the love of retro tech, it's always fascinating to see how far we've come. If you found this tutorial helpful, make sure to hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe for more tech content. I would love to hear your thoughts about this OS and this video, so write what's in your mind in the comments below. Also, if you have any questions or run into any issues during the installation, feel free to drop them in the comments and I will do my best to help you out. That's all for this video and I'll see you next time.